It is 2024, and Marvin Lewis is back in the NFL. That feels weird to say that out loud. Thankfully, he's not back for us. And I say thankfully because I just don't think we need him anywhere near our roster or coaching staff. The man, I wish him the best. But at the same time, we are no longer going to be an 8-8 team every single year. We're going to talk about Super Bowls over here now. Beside the point. He's back in the NFL. And he's actually on the Las Vegas Raiders. Now, this is not really new, but technically is new. So, let me explain. Last year, okay, I always say last year, this season. This is last year for us because our season's over. But technically, this season's still going on because we're in the playoffs. Earlier this season, the Raiders went ahead and fired Josh McDaniels, which was probably their best thing they could ever possibly do, let's be honest. Then they went ahead and promoted Pierce as the interim head coach. Interim head coach. Okay, I cannot say that word correctly. But yeah, they went ahead and promoted Antonio Pierce as their new, head coach of the future. And just recently, he actually got that coaching job, which is amazing because the players love him, the fans love him, the team plays better underneath of him, and if they would have lost him, it would have been an absolute travesty for this team, especially with how much he boosts the team up, just coming from Josh Gruden, or not Josh, Jay Gruden. Okay, for some reason John Gruden's in my head right now. Coming from Josh McDaniels now over to, an actual coach that they can respect and appreciate his efforts. So, I will say one thing, though. I feel like Antonio Pierce is more of a player's coach, and he's more of a guy that boosts up the team and gets people excited and kind of lets the players be the players. So, this is not very surprising news here. But over the last, this season, Marvin Lewis has been working with and helping Antonio Pierce, which Marvin Lewis is also a player coach. That's what the whole thing about him, right? Throughout the years of the Cincinnati Bengals, he was always a guy who wanted everyone to like him. He wanted all the players to like him. He wanted to be one with the players. And for better or worse, that's just how he coaches. So it makes perfect sense that he would be helping out a brand new head coach or interim head coach in Antonio Pierce, and that's what he did this season. Now, he had an unknown role this season with this, helping obviously Antonio Pierce. So now he just officially has a role and he's joining the coaching staff. So pretty much he was like a behind the scenes type of guy. He worked behind the scenes, helped him out, kind of geared him toward the correct directions on things, maybe like what he should do in these situations or that situations, and really kind of in a way was like a bridge quarterback. When you have like the MVP quarterback, or not MVP, but you have like the old veteran quarterback and he teaches the rookie how to do things. Hey man, I need you to do A, B, C, D, and D. When you see this pressure, do this. When you see this read, do this. And, kind of just coach him into becoming the best starting quarterback possible in a way. And I don't want to say completely because that would take away some from Antonio Pierce. And I think Antonio Pierce has done an amazing job so far as the Raiders coach. But in a way helping, okay? That's what I'll say. Like, I don't want to say completely like a starter to a rookie because that would be taking too much away from Antonio Pierce here. I think it's more or less like a starter to like, maybe not a rookie, but a starter to, or an old veteran to a rookie. Just giving him pointers, right? Say, hey man, this, and this. Like, not really teaching him everything, but kind of giving him pointers. And the way I want to phrase this, because I don't want to, I don't want to act like Antonio Pierce, is only good right now, only a good coach, or getting the coaching job because of Marvin Lewis. And that simply is not the fact. The fact is that Marvin Lewis did help him. So, and again, listen. In life, if you have someone who has more life experience than you, been in a business longer than you, or has done something that you haven't been able to do yet, it's always nice to get pointers. But now he's officially becoming a part of the coaching staff. And I'm going to guess that this is kind of where everything was kind of going. Where like Marvin Lewis was, hey man, I'll help you out. I'll kind of gear you. I'll make sure you know you're doing A, B, C, and D right. And in return, once you become the head coach, keep in mind he wasn't a head coach until recently. Once you become a head coach, just make me one of your coaches, and then I'll get a job as your coach, and I'll be able to kind of, get back in the NFL and get with the swing of things and stuff like that. And it's a win-win for both sides, right? And I think that's really what this comes down to. Now, it's going to be interesting to see two very much player coaches on the same team. I know right now the Raiders are in a very interesting situation. They went from John Gruden to Josh McDaniels to now in my opinion, really great coach in Antonio Pierce. But you got two hard-headed guys who were strict by the book. Obviously, Josh coming from the Belichick tree, and John coming from something else, I will say. But still, two very egotistical, maniac-type coaches. And then you go into, hey, this is going to be Antonio Pierce. He's more of a player coach. He wants you to be you, and he just wants the team to be successful, and he's one with the team. And now you're bringing in Marvin Lewis, who is known to be that exact same way. So you just have a culture shift. You have a culture of just hard-ass coaches, and now you have a, hey man, let's just have fun, let's do our best work, and let's go party when we're done. Maybe not party, but you know what I'm saying. It's going to be a complete culture shift for the Raiders. And maybe this is what the Raiders need. Maybe that's what this is going to end up coming down to. Because again, like I said, you had so many players coming out and, bashing Josh McDaniels. But then once Antonio Pierce got the job, they were doing the opposite. They were so happy he has a job. They were so supportive of him. So maybe this is what's going to kind of gear the Raiders in the correct direction. We'll have to wait and see. Now, at the end of the day, I always will wish Marvin Lewis the best of luck and hope that he can, move forward in correct directions here and have the best career possible. It'll be interesting to see him back in the NFL. I don't know how good the Raiders are going to do under him. And we also don't know what exact, coaching spot he's going to get. But at this moment in time, hopefully he does well and not too well because he's actually in the AFC still, and I don't want the Raiders to become a great team. But if he can help the Raiders beat the Chiefs twice a year, I would not mind. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.